We are back. How you doing today, Matt?
I'm doing well. Doing
Yeah.
well.
Uh, okay. See here. Markets are flat. This is like a good day for an option seller, you know? This is like, okay, how's that trade doing? Oh, it's not moving. Okay, I'm done.
That's all you need, right? Just a little bit of
I love these days. SVX is down 5 points, which is 0.08%, so nothing. RUT's down 7 points, which is about a quarter percent. Oil is down 1.5%, right at $63. Nasdaq's down 0.3%. The Dow is up a little bit. Gold is flat, and Bitcoin's down to 118. So nothing really much going on today. Oil's down a little bit right before the news on uh, Putin and Mr. Trump having a meeting today. So that'll be
later
interesting.
today. A lot
Yeah.
of a lot of a lot of questions around that meeting.
So what's like you said you guys were talking about it yesterday in the oil options coaching call.
Yeah,
So
so yeah, we were talking about it. So the idea was that this event, something like this, could be a really big market mover. It could be nothing, right? But you want to be prepared for the possibility of oil going up or down, right? And if there's an outside chance of this, let's say they just at a very basic level, Trump and Putin um, disagree. They have a terrible meeting, right? The worst case scenario, say, okay, where Trump says, I'm going to put sanctions on Russia. We're going to make things very difficult for him. That could easily put the market up to, a good 5 to 10 points, right, up in price. It's not likely, but it's something that you have to be cognizant of, right? So I want to be, we're in a trade where we're positive, right, for the month. And the way we trade is a good idea that I could get out with a positive, get out with a profit, and then kind of wait and see what happens, and then possibly get in and take advantage of the situation. So um, that's what we're kind of doing. We're kind of looking at the situation and acting accordingly. So I think it's.
you got out of the
I
position?
did, yeah, I did. Yep. Because, and there's everyone has a different kind of tolerance for it, but I see it as you can see it as an opportunity, right? That you can take advantage of a situation. Let's say it cratered, right? The price cratered down for another 5 or 10 points. I could get in at that point and take advantage of it. And the volatility would most likely be up. You could put yourself in a good situation.
Yeah. OVX right now is
So
about 36
yeah, it's pretty
uh,
flat, but it's rising a
flat
little
today.
bit, right?
Yeah.
And I suspect when they have that meeting, it will move around quite a bit, most likely.
Yeah, the thing is going to happen after the close, so
Mhm.
we won't be able to do anything till Monday. Uh,
Correct.
oil markets are closed on the weekends. They'll open up
Sunday evening.
Sunday evening, yeah.
Yeah,
But
right about 6 Eastern.
yeah, I mean, I don't really like trading after hours on the oil markets. The liquidity is very light. Um, I use it for emergencies, like if something really crazy happens, then I'll get in
Hmm.
or out of mostly out of a position. Um, but if needed, yeah, could be.
It could be nothing, right? But I'm always the idea of, you have a possibility of a market moving event, and you're at a position where you have a very good, a decent profit. Why stay in for it?
Yes, yeah. If you have a profit,
Yep.
you've already been in. Like, what's the expiration? Like 34 days left or something.
Yeah, about 33 to be exact would be it.
Yeah. So yeah.
So
Okay, that makes sense. Um, so we'll see about that. We'll see how that works out. And then I have some bad news. I have some very bad news.
no, we don't need bad news on a Friday.
It's horrible. It's unbelievable. um, America Online, after over 30 years, is shutting down.
Crying. I'm crying.
America Online. I mean, that's how most of us got online. Now the kids nowadays are like, "What? What are you talking about?" If you're under like 40, you have no clue what the heck that is.
It's an exercise in patience, AOL. You hear the sound, and then you have to wait for it to load, and you can go fix yourself a bowl of cereal and wait for it to load and come back.
I used to love AOL, man.
Oh, I did too. I did
I
too. It
loved
was
it. It was so cool. It was
yep.
so
You have
cool.
your little chat room. You could, just communicate with people in a different way. It was just amazing,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yep, all the news, all the pictures, sports, everything just right there in front of your face. You could
Everything.
play games, you could email people, and I was like, oh my God, this is the future. This is so cool. Oh man.
So I think officially it would be somewhere around what, 34 years, I think. That's what I saw. Yeah, 34 years.
Oh man. It's crazy how time flies.
Yep.
But yep, they're finally shutting down. And that's a saga in itself, like what you think about they were on the cutting edge. They were one of the biggest companies in the world. And
Hmm.
then now they're gone. Like nobody
But
uses
that's
it
life. I
anymore.
mean, that is what we're seeing today. That it's things will continue to change and
Uh-huh.
evolve.
Yep. Like most of the companies in the like the S&P 500 or the Dow Jones, they keep rotating, right? So like there's almost no companies that were in the original list that are still
No,
around.
no, not at all. Like, Warren Buffett talks about that, how the top 30 or top 30 in the Dow won't be there. They won't be there. It's hard to believe that. Like, okay, you could sit here and be like, okay, um, how will I mean, I'll just say it, like a Costco not be there. They may not be. They may not be, right? We're
Hmm.
talking 30 years time.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, when I was little, Sears was the big thing. They were
Yeah.
everywhere. Now they're gone. I think they're still somewhere
They're
around.
still
I can
around.
still see
I
their
was
names.
actually I was traveling and I looked out to the left, I saw a mall and I saw Sears. I was like, wow, okay. It's very interesting.
And then the other news was the Trump is, he had a meeting a couple days ago with the CEO of Intel. And at first he kind of, well, he tweeted that this guy needs to be out, right? We
Yeah.
need a new CEO. This guy's horrible. La 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 la. Get him out of here. And then the CEO is like, okay, I guess I'll go talk to him. So he went to the White House a couple days ago. And then yesterday, news comes out that,
He's a great guy. Great guy. Smart.
yeah, very smart guy, the super guy.
Yeah.
No apologies, no apologies. But yeah, now he's a great guy. And then yesterday they're like, okay, hey, yeah, the government is probably going to invest in Intel. I was like, what? The government is going to take over Intel or buy part of Intel or like,
Yeah.
what is this? I'm like, I had to like search it up. I'm like, can the government buy companies? And it's like, yes, the government is allowed, state governments and federal governments are allowed to buy companies. They did it in the financial crisis where they took over GM, they took over AIG, they took over a couple others, and that kind of worked out well for the taxpayer. Um, but to me, this is like nationalization. Like I don't get it.
Hmm.
What's going on here? Why is the U.S. government buying a chip manufacturing company? You know, what does that say about competition and free markets and capitalism and like it's
Doesn't
like
seem very free.
yeah. I mean, I can understand the Democrats are doing it, but Republicans like what? What's
Yeah.
going on here? Nobody's saying anything. They're like, oh yeah,
Definitely an interesting story.
yeah. I mean, I get it. They're saying it's for national security. Intel is the biggest chip maker in the country. They've already been given billions and billions of dollars by the government to build the foundries so that they can make chips. Um, because right now all the chips come from Taiwan Semi in Taiwan. But Taiwan Semi is also making a foundry here, building a foundry in the US. So I don't know how that works, but there was an article And I think you had mentioned this about energy, right? You were talking about
Mhm.
energy and AI. There was an article about this woman who she takes people to China and she's like a AI guru or something. I'm not sure exactly what she does, but she had written the article. She's like, yeah, I took all these people to see the AI companies and the situations in China and get lay down or the and she was saying that there is no energy problem over there. Like there's no energy shortage. They have done so much in solar, wind, um, and hydro
Mm.
that the data centers have plenty of energy. It's unfathomable for them to be like, oh, we don't have enough energy for the grid.
That's kind of scary, in my opinion.
Because she was saying that she's like the AI war, it's over. They've already won. China's already won.
Right. I mean, like we're trying to, we have to build all these data centers here in the US and how much energy that's going to take and how long is it going to take? I mean, people, they say, oh, they can build them pretty quickly, but, you know, just look at our power grid. That's not even close.
No, no. I mean, I'm
I
here
mean,
in
you have
Texas
trouble in Texas in the winter
in the summer and the winter.
and the summer and the winter.
Like we're gonna have storms this weekend, and they're like, "Oh, the power might be out for a couple days." Like,
Right.
what? You know, it's like a normal thing. Oh yeah, there's a thunderstorm. Okay, losing power. I mean, like the if you look at Generac, the company that does those power
Oh
generators for
yeah,
homes.
yeah.
I mean,
Like on the, it's like
their
a,
stock is through
yeah.
the roof. Their stock is
That's a
through the roof.
commercial on the Weather Channel like every second,
Yeah,
you
because
know?
everybody's buying one of those things because you don't have any choice. My
Yeah.
goodness. Um, there's a company called Base Power here in Texas. And they're like, yeah, you know what? We'll put a battery on your house. You get your power from us, and we put enough juice in that battery so that if the light goes out, then you'll have power for like 2 or 3 days. And I
Then
was
you're
like,
on your own.
yeah, after that, you're on your own. I was
Then you
like,
need your Generac,
then you need to. So I was
which
like,
is like
well,
10 grand, by the way. Those are
oh,
the lowest.
at least 10
At
grand.
least at
That's
least.
only for like one room. You want the
I
whole
mean,
house? That's like a big deal.
so how this
So
plays out is very questionable.
yeah, yeah. But like with Trump taking away the $7,500 for buying an EV vehicle, I think that has kind of given a reprieve to, like gas stations. Like, I always wonder, like, where are all these gas stations going to go? When everybody's got an EV car because nobody's going to pay money to fill up their EV. I mean, they might a little bit, but I mean, if I can fill up at home, right? And I'm out of juice, yeah, I might get like $5 or $2 worth, and then I'll go home and I'll fill it up. I'm not gonna
Right.
like fill up my whole tank at a gas station. So like there's just gonna be a lot of properties for sale on the corners because
Yeah,
there are
and
no more gas stations.
this another illustration of how things can change so quickly, right?
Hmm.
With the company, with energy, with it reminds me of what I read today about robo taxis, right? They're talking about how they're going to have more robot. There are, of course, they're in many cities across the U.S., but they're really trying to do a push in New York where they have these robo taxis, and that's going to take out, if that happens, right, and they get that approved, that's going to take out every taxi cab driver, everything, all the Uber people. I mean, those are a lot of jobs, right? I mean, it's just going to cannibalize it.
It'll take some time, but
So
yeah, it's getting there.
it will get there, right? I mean, it's already in San Francisco and other places. It just shows you how things can change very quickly.
Yeah. So I was talking to one guy, one of my dad's friends. He drives for Uber, right, part time. So I was like, "Hey, man, you're gonna be out of a job soon." He goes, "No, don't worry about it. I have a Tesla." And I'm like, "You're not worried about it? It's gonna take your job." He goes, "No, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna buy 4 or 5 Teslas, and then I'm just gonna turn them all into Ubers or robo taxis, and I'm just gonna sit at home and make money."
So he's going to have his own
He's
robo
gonna have a
company.
little fleet.
Well, yeah, but then you're gonna be competing with Waymo and all those other ones.
Yeah, but that's what Tesla wants, right? That's what Tesla is aiming for. So, I mean,
I
if
hate to
Tesla,
know the insurance on that, right? He has like five of his cars going out there and one wrecks. I
uh,
mean,
hopefully not,
that's,
but
I mean, that's what I'd be thinking about.
insurance might be actually cheaper because they don't have as many wrecks. But we'll see what happens.
We'll see.
Um, so that's insane. I was talking to my son the other day, yesterday I think it was, and we were talking about cars and I was like, in the olden days, everybody used to walk. And that was the thing. Everybody just walked. And the rich people, they had horses. So you knew somebody was rich when they got a horse. Right? Like, oh, they got a horse.
Yeah.
They're rich. They can get there
Still
faster.
rich if you have a horse, in my
Yeah.
opinion.
And then they had like horses and carriages. So you had the carriage and then you had the two horse and the driver. That guy's rich. Wow. And then everybody had horses and then the rich had the carriages. Okay. Then eventually it's like, oh, they got a car. Oh, wow, they got a gas-powered car. They are rich. Oh my God,
Mhm.
they are rich now. And then eventually everybody got a gas-powered car. And then it was like, oh, you have an electric car? Oh, those things are like $100,000. You're rich. You have an electric car. Oh, wow. Now everybody's got an electric car. And eventually it's going to go back to, oh, you have a gas-powered car? Okay, now you're rich. Because
Perhaps.
they're not going to be that many. They're not going to be that many gas stations. The gas prices are going to go higher, and the parts are not going to be. You're not going to be able to find parts as much. So whatever's made as a gas powered car or whatever's left over, they're going to be vintage and it's going to be a lot more expensive to maintain a gas car, combined combustible engine car. So I'm thinking
Yeah,
that's
I
that's
could
going to
see
be
a
the
little
future.
vintage creeping in there.
Yeah,
Like,
like
oh,
you're,
yeah,
oh,
oh, gas-powered car? Wow.
yeah, wow, it makes noise. It
Yeah.
goes vroom vroom.
But
Whoa,
now we're
yeah,
gonna
I
have
love
flying
it.
cars,
Yeah,
right? That's
yeah, they
gonna
don't
happen.
have flying cars. Yeah.
Isn't it in Texas? You already, I think we were talked about this. There are a couple of cities that have these type of like shuttles.
No, not yet. My city, Sugarland, they have approved it already. Um, so like from us to the airport, the main airport, and we have two airports in Houston, but the
Mhm.
international airport is about an hour and a half now. Before I used to get there in 30 minutes.
That's like
Now,
in Oklahoma, that airport.
now with traffic, it takes like an hour and a
So far
half,
away.
right?
Yeah.
So where we live in the suburbs, we have our own little airport for the private jets and planes and whatnot. So they're actually teamed up with one of these flying car companies, and they're going to build a hangar here at that airport, the local airport, where you can go there and get in their little thing, and it'll fly you to the big airport. So instead of an hour and a half in traffic, you'll get there in about 15, 20 minutes.
But it's not like a helicopter. It's like a little shuttle type. I'm not sure what it looks
It's
like.
like a big drone. It's like you're sitting inside of a drone. It's got like, four of the wheel whirly thingies
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
yeah. So, I mean, it'll be fine. It'll be cool. But we'll see how it goes.
I just think
Um,
about like, I know my mind goes to airspace and you have people, personal drones. Now you have these, flying shuttles and uh, we'll figure it out.
it's the future. We're in a crazy world.
Yes, we are.
Uh, and then the other thing that came up was so when these big funds, hedge funds or large companies, whenever they do a trade, if they're large enough, they have to report the trade
Mhm.
to the SEC. And then there's a certain deadline when all of that stuff becomes public. And so like every quarter or whatnot, there's reports on like, oh, this fund sold this stock and bought this stock and they did this and they did this. And this was so the numbers came out yesterday for the end of June, so the end of the second quarter. And it turns out that there were several companies, several large companies or funds that have bought into United Health. Now, United Health, they had one of their CEOs was murdered, and then they had boycotts and they had
Yeah, front and
other
center.
stuff, and then they had issues with the government and they were overcharging people, and they've just had problem after problem after problem, and the stock has just been nosediving ever since. But yesterday it came out that Berkshire Hathaway Appaloosa, which is a big fund, and then Michael Berry, the guy from The Big Short.
Oh, wow, really? Okay.
Yeah, so he was the one in The Big Short, but he was the one, if you remember the movie, he was the one, he actually made the most out of everybody. He made like a couple $100 billion.
Yeah.
But he was like the crazy one. He was in the office playing drums all day, not taking phone
Yeah.
calls and not listening to anybody. And
By the way, one of my favorite movies of all time.
yeah.
Check it out.
So he is now in there as well. And so you take a look at that and say, okay, all these big guys are in there. That puts kind of like a floor on the bottom. So,
Hmm.
maybe this is the floor for UNH. It could be. It could go down from here further, but at least these guys are willing to say that the worst is over and they're gonna ride it from here. Now that doesn't mean that they can't sell it at any time, of course, if it keeps going down or more bad news comes out. But as a trade, it's definitely something we could take a look at and be like, okay, hey, there's something here. People are getting in. They're seeing something that they like. It's definitely, undervalued, and so it's cheap at this price.
Yeah, it's intriguing what you said that there's more than just Warren Buffett, right? I mean, that in itself is big, but when you have other people like Michael Burry coming into it and other hedge funds investing in it,
I did
that
also notice there were a couple hedge funds that got out of it, so it's like it's not like
right, but I
100%
mean,
consensus, but
it's just not one person, right? Like I can think back to Warren Buffett bought a bunch of Ulta at one point, right? Shot the stock up really quickly, and then within like I don't know, maybe even 6 months or less, he sold it. So it's like a question of how much he's buying. I don't know how much he actually bought of UNH, but
he bought
sizable,
a
yeah.
sizable amount. Yeah, I
I mean, to
mean,
make the news, certainly.
right, for Berkshire, no, it's not a big deal, but
Yeah,
normally, if we said like, oh, you bought like X billion dollars, for them they got hundreds of billions sitting there in cash. But I'm looking at the chart here, and the low was 234, and after today we're at 308. So it's
Hmm.
definitely bounced. Had a nice rebound since then, since that floor at 234, which is right after the last earnings report. Since then, it's been kind of basing and moving higher.
Yeah,
And then there's this huge gap up. So there might be some resistance, somewhere around this level, 310 or so. If it can get through that level, um, there's another gap that needs to be filled at 380. So if it can get past 310, 315, I would say 380 is the next target.
yeah.
So that's a good 70 points away from here. So that might be a good trade.
And it was up to in November of last year. It looks like it was up to 630 at one point.
Yep.
I mean, wow.
Yeah. So, 580 is that gap, and then there's another gap that needs to be filled at 587. So it could go much, much higher, but obviously the news has to get cleared up.
Yeah.
Oh, and then there's somebody else, including Buffett. Marjorie Taylor Greene is also buying United
Oh,
Health.
I'm definitely investing now. I'm in.
Oh, look at that. Marjorie Taylor Greene.
So, while you're on that thought, I think I saw it's going to the floor, or it's going to be a vote where they're trying to outlaw. We talked about this, single stock investing for anyone in Congress.
Hmm.
That would be
Well, it
pretty.
passed. It passed committee. It's going to go for a vote. I don't think it'll pass there. But we never know. It'll be in the next session, I think. But yeah. Yeah, there was, yeah,
I just love the whole like Pelosi was like, oh no, I don't do that. It's my husband's account.
yeah.
Like, oh yeah.
Yeah, it's called the Pelosi bill. That's what it was called originally, but then she had an
We don't
attitude
talk
about
about stocks. No, no
it.
reason to.
But so yeah, I mean, if these people are buying it, then they must know something. So maybe it
Yeah.
is definitely the bottom. All right, so that's all I had. You have anything else you want to talk about?
Let's see. Well. I want to talk about our SmackDown. Where are we with that?
SmackDown, SmackDown. All right, SmackDown coming up. Let me pull it up. Let's see what's going on here. Okay. Right. Can you see my screen?
Yes, I can.
All right. So let's fill in these prices here. I made a new watch list just for the SmackDown. So Meta today is 787.88. HWM 170.88. And CMG is today at 43.86.
Like you said, down 15%.
And you
Dang.
are at zero.
Excellent.
Good job. All
Thank you.
right. Not bad for a couple days. All right. BMNR 57.61.
Ooh.
Ouch. Oh
Ooh.
no. Oh,
But that will
bro.
fluctuate. That will fluctuate.
GE 268.36. And then move it all. And then Hood 1112.42.
Oh, okay.
So I am
Well,
down a whopping
4%.
4%. You are up nothing, but you are still above me. So you are winning this SmackDown for now. We'll see how it
Got
goes.
16 days to go.
Yeah. I mean, my thing, BMNR is all based on the Ethereum price. Like if it goes up, it'll do well. I'll probably win. If not, I'll do go down. I'll go down a lot and I'll probably lose. It's like the whole thing is based on this one stock.
I'm taking notes. I think I'm learning a lot about you, Alan, about your choices here. So,
So what I want to do after this one, like we'll do SmackDown for us, and then next month, I think I want to do it where we open it up. We let
yeah, I was
all.
about to say, I would like to see like we can have different competitions, right? And how you
Hmm.
approach them.
Yeah, yeah. So we open it up to the viewers, and everybody gets to pick one stock, maybe. And
Hmm.
we'll go to the end of the month, and we'll record it, and we'll just do it like this. But we'll see how it goes. Maybe we'll even have some kind of prize or something. But it'll be fun and interesting to go along. Um, Something interesting to. I mean, because a day like today, market is flat, nothing's really happening. I got all my trades on. I'm bored. Like, if I was working at home, right, this was a day that my wife would be like, "Can you leave me alone, please? Can you go do something with yourself? Like, stop bothering me," you know? Because she's busy, she's doing her stuff.
Yeah,
And I would be like, "Well, I got nothing to do today." Done.
which is a good thing, right? A
Which is
good thing,
wonderful.
but
It's wonderful.
yeah, yeah,
Um, but then you get bored. So we got to keep ourselves busy with these little contests and fun stuff. And, um, there's only so much TV and YouTube and Netflix that you can watch. So
yeah.
speaking
I
of
tend to
YouTube,
on days like today to really kind of focus on the macro, like where are things headed in the next month of your trade if you're in a month-long trade or something like that.
mhm.
Uh, I think it's a good time to
How do
use.
you do that?
Well, I would I like to read a couple of publications, maybe if you have time, let's say it's over um, in the evening or something, or you can listen to a podcast on what if you're choosing, trying to just connect the dots, if you will, for long term.
So what are
You
your
know, here's
favorite? What are some of your favorites?
well, I love reading Morning Brew. It's a good
Okay.
one. That's a
Hmm.
free publication or free newsletter. You know, they don't bother you. It's not one of those ones where it's gonna like, you know, it's a very short newsletter in the morning, right? And it will give you kind of a rundown of what happened yesterday and then
Hmm.
what will happen down today. And it's really kind of a dumbed down version of the Wall Street Journal. I'm sure they're just taking all the headlines of the Wall Street Journal and just making it kind of fun. So, but it's enough information where you can be like, okay, it's interesting and makes you kind of think about where things are going as far as AI and things like that. It really covers everything. So I think that's a good way to start. Yep.
Okay.
They even have I think it's another one. forget it's Brew Markets or something like that. It will actually do give you kind of a wrap up of the day, what happened after the whole market day. So, it just kind of keeps you fresh about what things are happening. Like we're talking about UNH today. You may not know that, right? So you may have just read this in the morning and you can very quickly kind of keep abreast of what's going on.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Um,
What's your go-tos?
so I uh I
I know you like
like
fast money.
yeah, I was gonna say
Yep.
that. So the show Fast Money on CNBC, it's um you know the comp so they have so it's basically yeah, there's a host and then there's like four traders. One lady she's running a hedge fund. Another guy has several ETFs that he's running. There's another guy who used to be a market maker on the floor. Now he's working for some bank. And then there's a couple other guys, I don't even know what they do,
Right.
but they're
Yeah.
all somehow involved in their trading. And then their commentary, I kind of skip over. Um, you know, I don't really care that much. But when they bring on some guests, those are the ones I really pay attention to. Because they'll bring on like the head of securities for XYZ Bank or the guy that right now they're saying is is in the lead for being nominated for the Fed chair. He works at Jefferies. He's been on the show several times.
Right.
So listening to all these people, there's these people that are when they bring these experts on that work at different banks or work at different institutions, they talk to other hedge funds, like their customers and their partners are other big traders and banks and hedge funds. So they kind of get a feel for what other people are saying and thinking, and they share it. So to me, that's like the biggest thing. They also have a guy, Paul Sankey. He comes on.
Hmm.
To me, I think he's the guy that knows the most about the oil markets. And since we trade oil a lot, I enjoy it when he comes on. And so that's one I like. I also will watch the apps. I got a couple apps, CNBC app for the news just to see what's going on. USA Today, I'll check that one also a little bit. Um, Other than that, I get the news on the platforms. So it's not it does take about so to have that show to be able to watch it every day because I'm not home when it comes on, so I have to
Right.
record it on the DVR. So I have to have cable. And the only reason we have cable is so I can record that one show and watch it. That's the only
Right.
reason we have cable. Otherwise,
They need to have you on there.
yeah, no thanks. Um, but so that it's like, I've been watching it for so many years now. It's like, okay, it's a habit. And I kind of know what they're going to say. I kind of know what their jokes. I know the jokes because it's the same jokes over and over
You
again.
can be like, okay, I'm listening. I'm gonna go do this. Now I'll come
Yeah.
back. Yeah.
Yeah. So when you have it recorded, you can always fast forward it, right? So, I mean,
Hmm.
it's an hour show. I'm done probably in like 15 minutes. But it keeps me up to date. Now, sometimes what happens, and sometimes I used to watch Kramer for this too, is there'll be something that happens in the market that doesn't make the news. Like the market was down big in the middle of the day, or was up big, or made a big move, or something happened crazy. But you look on the websites and you can't find anything. Then you go to one of these shows at night afterwards, and because these guys are actually trading on Wall Street,
Hmm.
they're like, oh yeah, the twos auction of the 2% bonds was horrible, and that's why the market went bad today. It's like,
Right.
oh, okay, I wouldn't have known that because Wall Street
Yeah, they're
Journal
able to go
doesn't
into
have an article
detail.
about that. Yeah,
Right.
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 So stuff like that. Sometimes if something weird happens in the daytime, then one of these shows, or even Kramer talks about it sometimes. He's like, oh yeah, China said this in the middle of the day. And I was like, oh, okay, that's what happened. Okay. You know, so it kind of gives you an idea sometimes if you don't know. Um, so but the one thing I always tell people is like, you have to really be careful that you don't get overwhelmed by all the noise,
Yes, there's so much
you
out
know?
there. Yeah.
Like you apply or you subscribe, you sign up for one of these free newsletters, and then they also have, oh, subscribe for this and subscribe for this and subscribe for
Hmm.
this. And you're like, oh, that looks good. Eventually you have like 50 emails every day coming at you, you know?
Yeah.
And I started doing that and I was like, oh, there's one for dividends and there's one for this and there's one for this and there's one for this and one for that. I'm like, and
Right.
it's like too much. Just
In a world
it,
where there is too much, let's be honest, there's just all this stuff out there. So yeah, I agree with you. You have to, um, I think it's good to find the ones that you want to, that you're looking into and then try them and make, see if it makes sense to you, right? If it really resonates with you. If it doesn't, and then you're on to something else until it does. But,
Mhm.
you know, we've all had newsletters or shows where we're like, okay, yeah, that sounds interesting. And then, it's just overwhelming. It has to resonate with your style and what we're talking about. And that
Yeah.
sometimes takes a little bit of time. Yeah.
And not every day do you have to pay attention, Like
No,
today, there's nothing going on,
right.
I'm not even gonna watch the show tonight because it's like, okay, it's a flat day, nothing really happened.
Yeah.
I'll watch it later on, to see about what happened with the Trump meeting. But other than that, I don't not I'm gonna be relaxed all day.
Yeah.
So stuff like that. It's we are we are like bombarded with all this information, and they make it seem like it's so important. You have to
Right.
know
Of
the story,
course.
you have to know what's going on. And it's like, my father, he's in his 80s, right, and he watches MSNBC, and I'm like, why are you watching this stuff? It's so negative. He goes, I gotta know what's going on. I'm like, why? And he
Right.
doesn't have an answer. I'm like, what difference does it make to you? I
Right.
mean,
How is this going to affect your life here and now?
at
Yeah.
all.
At
I
all.
mean, they're
Yeah.
going on and on about, oh, the Epstein files, and oh, this guy got deported, on oh, this happened, and the Trump, he paved the Rose Garden, and now it's who cares? Like, Dad, come on, has nothing to do with you. You never even been to the Rose Garden, like.
Yeah, this
Why do you care?
that darn rose garden. I remember walking through there and now it's a
I used to
shame.
love those roses, man. It was like
Yeah.
my piece of heaven, and now it's gone. I can't believe it. Oh, it's
But
like,
it's very true. But like I would argue that it's important in investing to have a practice, if you will, like a rhythm to how you're looking at the news, right? So that takes a little bit of development. Um, but you got to be careful, like we just talked about, of being overwhelmed. So, you find a couple of things that really work for you, and you get kind of in a cadence, and it doesn't necessarily have to be every day, right? But it is important to be you know, in tune with the general things that are happening, right? Of
yeah. So you have
course.
to have a little bit, and that's why, like, one of the things that we teach is having a watch list, right?
Hmm.
A list of companies that you can go through and you can check their charts, and that by itself pretty much tells you what you need to know. Like, if you're not paying attention to the news, and if you just look at your watch list, you'll have an idea of what's going on under all the news, under all the hype. You'll be
Yeah, we
able to
talked
see
about
like,
like you go through a watch list and see all the banks are up. Why are they all up, right? And then you can kind of go through. So it's like you're reading between the lines as you go through that whole watch list.
you
Yeah.
can tell what's turning over, what's turning up, what's going higher, what's hot, what's not hot.
Yeah. And then
Like,
ask the questions why, right? And then go deeper.
if you want to, sometimes you
Yeah.
don't even have to. Like,
No.
for example, on our SmackDown, right? You picked how HWM, I forgot the name of it, how Met Aerospace,
Helmet.
right? Mine is GE Aerospace. I mean, both of them are aerospace companies. We had talked about earlier about Connor had mentioned Parker Hannifin. That one
Hmm.
is making 52-week highs, and that's also involved in aerospace. So it's like, okay, how'd you guys come up with these names? Well, they're on the watch list.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like we just look and see when you see a couple um, that are doing well, and you're like, okay, this is the same industry. All right, let me check and see if others in this industry are doing well. And oh yeah, they are. Okay,
Yep.
there's something going on here. And at
Why is
least,
Home Depot up? Why is Lowe's up? Why is, you can go into that and
yeah, I
figure
mean,
out
the
why.
home builders are up. Okay, Why? You know, you
Right.
see one or two of them up, okay, but Home Depot is not up. Okay, well, maybe Home Depot is going to come up. So then that gives you an idea for a trade. Like, okay, or if you see one home builder that hasn't jumped as much as the others, you're like, okay, maybe this one is a trade. Um,
Yeah,
so
I love going through the watch list like we teach because it will tell you everything you need to know.
yeah, I mean, it is
For sure.
tedious. People are like, oh my God, it takes so much time to make it and to build it. But yeah, but once you're done, it's like it's done.
Once you're done, and you can just
And
go through it very quickly.
yeah.
Yep.
And it's fun. It's like on a day like today, you know, I went through it really quickly and I was like, okay, yeah, I don't really see anything I like. Okay, I'm done.
Yep.
You know, I don't have to do anything. Um, Even though we're like in a sweet spot, you know, we're like about 30 plus days to expiration. This is a good time to put some trades on. But like I said already, you know, I'm already heavily geared toward the upside. So I'm not putting any more money at work right now, you know, just in case. Just in case
Yeah, good.
things turn around, I have something to
But
move
you
on with.
allow yourself that window to take advantage of anything that comes up.
Yeah.
Yep.
So cool beans. All right. So that's all I had for today. Just a reminder, everybody, please go ahead and subscribe, hit the bell, like the video, put a comment, do whatever you want. Um, and it helps with the algorithm, helps get the word out there. The what is it called? The options trading podcast that we sponsored. That sucker is going nuts. People are loving that.
Awesome. Yep.
Yeah, so they've been putting out a episode almost every day. So like every
Every day.
weekday, there's an episode, and so they probably have maybe 10 episodes already. Um, and I think they're up over 1,000 downloads. So that's it's pretty remarkable. So that one, please check that out. Optionstradingpodcast.com.
.com.
That's a good one. And then yeah, market power is still hot. We haven't lost yet in October or August. And
No, no.
last time
You
we
said we're
said,
up to 16 in a row.
yeah,
16
but
or
last time we said we had 4 winning trades. We actually had 5 winning trades, and you didn't take one. You missed one, but there was
it
actually five.
happens. It happens. Yes, I miss them occasionally, but I make the most of them.
Yeah, you make most of them. What was it like? You went to the bathroom?
Yeah, so it can like it can happen, right? So I have we talked about this. We have certain times where you decide to take the trade, a certain window, and for that moment, I had to get up and leave the room. And then by the time I came back, it was no longer a market power day. So,
But you wait till the very end, right? You wait till the
not as
the
much as I
close.
used to. Not as much as I used to.
Okay,
Yeah.
right.
So you know you can kind of there's a window, right? A general window. But and I kind of play around with that. So,
Yeah,
but I'm
because I
not
get
as
in. I mean, I don't want to sit around and wait for it, right?
I
So
know.
I wait for like the last hour, and then
You're
if it's
like,
like,
here, trade's on. Okay, I'm on the rest of my day. I'm like,
yeah,
okay,
bye.
how can I take the absolute best position here? Absolute best.
So if it's the last hour and it's kind of steady, okay, let's put it on. All right, done. Um,
That's the beauty of trading, right? So,
yeah. Sometimes you win, sometimes you get the bad you get a bad fill, sometimes you get the great fill.
but
But
I just like I can't say this enough. I don't know, and I don't think anyone can tell me. You know, we had a streak of what, 66. It's remarkable. It is absolutely unbelievable that you can go in the market 66 times in a row and win, right? So, you know, now we're on to another streak, and you know, who knows? Maybe we will beat 66. It's quite
I don't
possible.
know, that's pretty hard. That's a lot.
I believe
Yeah.
we're winning.
I mean, that was not even just 66, but that's like, you know, like 11 months, you know,
Yeah.
without a loss. That's a lot. That's a lot. So, but cool. All right. So that's it for today. We will be back on Wednesday. And if you have any questions, you know, email us help@optiongenius.com or put them in the comments. And we appreciate you taking some time out to watch and hang out with us. And we'll see you
And
all next week.
let's have a moment of silence for AOL.
Yeah, well, you got
Um,
mail.
so sorry.
You got mail. No more. You don't have
You've been great.
mail anymore. I'm sorry. All right. See you later, man.